All right, so now things are back to normal. Got the G35 moved over into the side yard. My foot's still really messed up. The G35's over there. I know you guys don't really want to see feet, so I'm not going to show you my feet. But let's just say that I stepped on a nail, and the nail almost went all the way through my foot, as you guys already know. So I'm kind of just working how I can. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to wrap this up so I don't get it any dirtier than it needs to be. All right, so last video you guys saw that we got the G35 pulled up here. We got the VQ pulled out of it. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go back and check that out. That's going to be one of the bigger builds that we're going to do here on the channel. And by we, I mean me. I don't know why I say we all the time, because I generally do a lot of this stuff by myself. But when I say we, I feel like I include you guys in it. So maybe that's why I say it. But if you guys don't already know, this 2J is going in it. I know it's a VVTi. Let's not talk about that. The point is that if I put this engine in the car will be able to run a 2JZ VVTi or a 2JZ in general. So if I choose to get another block, build the bottom end, and then, you know, swap it out, you know, that's always an option. So I'd rather put the money into what's going to get the car on the road rather than putting a whole bunch of money into going forged on this and making it capable of pushing horsepower that I wouldn't even feel comfortable driving an 800 horsepower car or something, even with 500 horsepower, because I drive a G35 and those things push like 230. So, you know, I got to scale my way up. So I don't really think that it's really a big deal that I'm using the VVTi engine. You know, you can push a decent amount of boost on them as long as you don't go over 450 with a bad tune. Things should be fine. You know, there's always a chance for things to go wrong, but you know, if the car's stringed up for a 2J, then it's not going to matter. So we got the G35 over here. Pushed that over here yesterday. It's a lot lighter now that there's not an engine in it. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the other day when we were putting the trailer back at Tyler's house, I stepped on a nail. See a little purple dot where it almost came through. It hurts pretty bad. It is what it is though. I was leaving Josh's house last night, and if you drive a G35, you know that the doors are extremely heavy and like to close themselves. And Josh's driveway is on a huge incline. So generally when I get in my car, you know, when my foot's not messed up, I put my foot in the door crevice, so when the door comes slamming shut, you know, it catches on my foot and then I can pull it shut and not slam it. Well, I instinctively did that last night, and let's just say that my foot is a whole lot worse now than it was before, because not only does it have a hole in it, now it's swollen. Very, very, very swollen. So I'm going to clean up the garage as best as I can. I got the exhaust right here for this thing. I'm gonna have Bryce over at Monster fab it up for me, but I'm just gonna try to clean everything up in here, and then I'm going to pull the engine out and start pulling all the extra BS off it so we can get ready to clean it, refresh it, and get it back in this car, because I want to get this car on the road so I can get the G35 over here and I can start prepping the engine bay for paint. So I got a lot of things going on, but once we wrap up Jacob's car here, we'll have a lot more room and a little bit more sanity to do things on a more organized level. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to take the gas tanks out of the AW11 MR2's today. The one that sat in the garage for years and years, we're 99% sure has a bad fuel pump, so we need to drop the tank out to replace that anyways. And my brother knows that the white car has not only a clean tank, but a good fuel pump, because he drove the car for 1,000 miles. So we're going to take the gas tank out of the silver car, and we're going to take the gas tank out of the white car, and then I'm going to switch them around and put the good tank in the silver car and the bad tank to the side, so I can get a new fuel pump and then figure that out, clean it out, get the old gas out of it. Not only will the gas tanks be pulled out of the MR2's, but I'll also be giving you guys a little bit of an update on the VQ S13. By update, I mean, well, you'll see. Just stay tuned and we'll get to it eventually. Alright. Now you want to make sure you get all of the screws. There are a whole bunch of them. The one that was holding me up was right in here. I pulled out the ashtray, and then there was one screw right here that I almost forgot. There's right at the end here, there's gonna be one here, one here. You're gonna have to get up all under here with your screwdriver. There's one right up here. So there's a lot of screws in here. So you don't want to miss any of those, because you don't want to break this thing. Then after that, you should be able to just lift it right up, put it to the side. Alright, so if you're familiar with the AW11, the fuel tank actually runs right under this entire section right here. It's a big, tall, oval tank. And I'm going to unplug the fuel pump and make sure that when I pull the tank out, I don't have any issues, because I don't want to tug on these wires and potentially stop the system from being able to function properly. There's one. There's two. As always, you know that we put our bolts back where we got them, or our screws, so when we go to put the piece back, we're not looking all over the place for them. Because if you start throwing them on the floor, before you know it, you're not going to know what goes where. You can see the lines that come out of the fuel pump. So it'll be this one. So you're going to want to get that one out, get that one out, and then you're going to want to take the little rubber grommet and make sure it's not in there, so when you pull the fuel tank down, it doesn't just all get stuck up here on the wires, because these rubber grommets are made for that. So it'll literally just, you know, keep it wrenched up here at the top of the car, and you'll be tugging on your wires not knowing what's going on. So now that those are all done, I'm going to move to under the car and see what I need to start unhooking down there. That's how you pull out the gas tank. Alright, so as you guys saw and probably heard, the test pipes are way too low. Way too low. So I'm going to raise the coilovers and not have this thing slam to the ground, because I'd like to drive it and not destroy anything. So I'm going to loosen these up, get them adjusted, throw the wheel back on, and then maybe take it for a spin.